following show contains adult content. It's not our intent to offend anyone, but we want to inform you that if you are a child under the age of 18 or get offended easily, this next show may not be for you. The content, opinions, and subject matter of these shows are solely the choice of your show hosts and their guests, and not those of the Entertainment Network or any affiliated stations. Any comments or inquiries should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for listening.
Sitting down and designing, why every man never thinking, what are we gonna be wearing? Yo, I'm a Liverpool MC, you can't test me, big up the girls inside the party, let's get down to crazy Jimmy, big up myself and known as Alfie, the one and only, the Turkish MC.
Always love the clothes of Jimmy.
British, I'm your wanna be, Jimmy Star, new celebrity.
We'll take you out to Jimmy Stars, he'll dress.
Hello. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, bringing you the good times in music, fashion, pop culture, and entertainment. We got a fun show for you guys today. It's going to be an amazing time with guests Robert Paul Taylor and Dane Rhodes. Both are super accomplished actors in the field of entertainment, so I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And before we get started, let's say hi to everybody, starting off with our cool, outrageous man about town co-host, Mr. Ron Russell.
You'll have to excuse me while I tongue kiss my dog.
I don't think we look light enough. Don't you think we should be lighter?
We should be lighter.
Yeah.
Make it lighter. Hey, everybody. Yes, we're excited. I don't know what we're excited about, but I just say that to make the show sound interesting. No, now we look blue. There we go. We need more lights. There we are. There you go. Can't get any brighter than that.
What's up, everybody? We're going to have a lot of fun today. And say hi to Astro. Astro's sitting on Ron's lap. You can't really see him.
And folks, I didn't shave. And the reason being, I start a movie next week and I'm going to have a beard in it because I play a doctor. And I want to look like a doctor and not like a, Hollywood, whatever.
So what's up? We've got Backpack John in the chat room. Cindy Lady Lake's in the chat room.
Okay, Astro, sit, behave.
Actually, people are just coming in. That's right, you guys. We're starting a new film. We start shooting on Sunday.
With Sadie Katz. I play a doctor advising Sadie Katz on something. You have to watch the movie to see what it is.
It'll be a lot of fun.
We are going to discover.
We haven't really announced it yet, but we'll announce a little bit now.
We can't give the name. I mean, it's so stupid that they don't do all this crap. Years ago, before a picture came out, they did pre-publicity. We were waiting in anticipation for a movie to come out. Oh my God, it's 3 months, like they did with Sex and the City. They started it last year that they were going to do it. Now they did it. It premieres December 9th on HBO. So we all know about it and we're waiting for it. Same thing with Downtown Abbey. Downton Abbey. I call it Downtown. Downton Abbey. They said they were shooting it last year, and now it's going to be a Christmas release sometime. So I believe that pre-publicity works. But tonight we're going to have fun. We're going to a nightclub called Oscars here in Palm Springs, and we're going to see our friend John James again, who is probably one of the most delightful actors you want to know. You remember him on Dynasty, of course, as the gorgeous hunk that everybody used
Jeff Colby.
Yeah, Jeff. Everybody used to swoon and faint over. And also, two other cast members will be at Oscars tonight from Dynasty.
Jack Coleman, who played Stephen Carrington, is going to be there, and Gordon Thompson, who was Adam Carrington, is going to be there. And the name of the show is Our Dynasty, Tales from the Set. Right. And it's tonight at 7 o'clock, and you can go to OscarsPalmSprings.com to get tickets if you're around and you want to go.
Yeah, so if you're in the Palm Springs area, come on down and meet and greet with us and meet the boys. I also, after the show tonight, I want to ask the three fellas if they'll come on our show and do a private interview, and I'm sure they will. So we'll see what happens tonight.
Absolutely. It's going to be a lot of fun.
The camera's too much to you. I need some more.
Also, I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving. We had a great Thanksgiving, but we had a terrible stress of Thanksgiving.
I wasn't going to go into that.
Why not? People want to know.
Because, I have to rant. I don't rant by the way I speak. We bought our turkey at Costco. We paid 98 cents a pound, and I thought it was a great deal. It turns out the turkey was rotted. And when we opened it up, the stench that came out was like during a war. When you have dead bodies all over, or a mafia wedding, it smelled like dead bodies all over. Anyway, we had to throw that turkey out. Now we have
At 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
we have an important guest coming, Sue Wong, who I wanted to impress, and Ted, another guy who's a pal of ours, and no turkey. How do you have a Thanksgiving dinner without a turkey? So quickly, my daughter Leslie said, go to Gelson's. They probably have defrosted turkeys that were not frozen. And Jimmy did. He went there, but except Gelson wanted $5 a pound for a turkey. And that's a bit ridiculous. So he went to Ralph's, and then
I went to Ralph's and I got, instead of getting a big turkey, I got 2 12-pound turkeys because we only had 3 hours till the guests were coming and we had to cook them quick. And ended up that our guests were 45 minutes late, which worked out perfect for us because they were late coming in from LA because there was a lot of traffic, and we had just enough time to get the turkeys cooked, and everything worked out absolutely beautifully, and it was a wonderful evening. But we had a couple of hours of stress.
Well, the turkey wasn't our usual 22, 23-pound beauty. It looked like a chicken, big bird laying there. It was not fun. So I was really disappointed in the Thanksgiving part of it. But Sue Wong made up for it because she's quite glamorous and exciting, and her conversations are really intelligent and fun. And Ted was just as charming as could be, and he kept my 2 daughters entertained so that we all relaxed from the absentee turkey fiasco.
Absolutely. We want to welcome in the chat room, Mike Wagner just showed up from the Mike Wagner Show. We love Mike Wagner.
Hey, Mike.
And also Dawn Hinton is there. She says she fell on Monday, so she's moving slowly. So we hope you're feeling better.
Oh, Dawn.
Oh, and what you got a watch on for her today?
Yes, I do. It's another 40s. It matches.
49.
It has the same shade of blue and chartreuse in it as my shirt. So it matches my shirt. Where's the thing? I can never find that. It matches my shirt perfectly. I love to match wristwatches with the cuff of my shirt, whatever color the cuff is.
It's always a lot of
So
fun.
I feel weird with growing this beard. I don't know how people can tolerate a beard. It itches. It gets caught on the sheets when you're sleeping, and food gets all over the mustache part. So it's really not. I can't wait to shave it off, but I don't shoot.
I like mine.
Well, you look better with it. I don't film my scenes until when Tuesday.
No, a week from Tuesday.
A week from Tuesday, so I have a long time to grow it. Then I will dye it so it will show. So I'm going to have black eyebrows, a black goatee, and white hair. Interesting, different. I don't want to look the same in every movie.
You guys will like it though, and we do have a phenomenal cast attached, and everybody's been on all the lead people have been on our show, so it's going to be a lot of fun. And we have Lorene Landon, Sadie Katz, Vernon Wells, Ron.
I'm not in any Lorene scenes. No,
no, and Victoria Demare, who was on our show a couple of years ago, is going to be in it. It's going to be a lot of fun, and
I'm happy to work with Sadie because I love her work.
They said they can't wait to see the beards.
Well, you'll see it
says both of her sons have
next,
beards.
next week. You'll see it. Because Wednesday, because I shoot, Tuesday?
You shoot in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks. So, yes, next Wednesday I will have the beard. I look like, when I had one years ago, and I look like a magician. Mandrake the magician. I get very demonic looking when I have a goatee and a mustache with these black, thick eyebrows and my white hair. It's really quite interesting. Anyway, we'll see what happens. As I said, I don't believe in looking the same in every movie I'm in because that's not acting. I have to be a doctor, so I have to speak correctly. No Brooklyn accent whatsoever. Possibly a bit of a British accent, if they allow it. I'm not sure. Just a slight hint that possibly I came from London. But we'll see what they say when we get on the set.
That's right. It'll be a lot of fun. So before our first guest comes on, I thought I'd do some of our little advertising stuff and get it out of the way. So we want to thank everybody for tuning in every week. And you can listen to our show live, obviously, on W4CY Radio every Wednesday from 12 to 2 p.m. Pacific time, 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern time. And then for the replays, you can hear us on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, TuneIn, Pandora, Amazon Prime, and SoundCloud. And then you can watch the shows when they go up later on, usually a week later or so on YouTube.
Before you go any further, I want to say something. A few days ago, I lost a very good friend of mine, Arlene Dahl, the movie star. She passed away at 96 years old. Arlene Dahl was probably one of the most beautiful women you would ever see in your life. She had milk white skin, fire engine red hair, and emerald green eyes. She was quite the beauty, quite a lady, very intelligent, very sophisticated, very well spoken, and very much a feminine woman. If you go to Facebook to the Ron Russell Show, you can now see the video that we shot years ago, an interview with Arlene Dahl, where she talks about her husband, ex-husband, Lex Parker. Was he raping Lana Turner's daughter, Cheryl Crane, at 10 years old? Also, we talk about old Hollywood, and we talk about Arlene Dahl's dying 3 times. Yes, she was in an auto accident and she died. She was dead for 45 minutes, and she told us what being dead was like. So I'm thinking now that she's dead, she knows what it's like. She said to me, dying is no big deal. It's like walking from one room to another. So I know that whatever room Arlene Dahl has walked into is going to be far more beautiful with her in that room and far more interesting with her conversation and her charm. Arlene, I love you. You were a good person. I love all our lunches together. We had a lot of fun. You are quite a character. And if there is a God in Christ or wherever you go, wherever we go after we die, if there is an after, I hope you're happy there. I love you, Arlene.
Yay. And we also want to welcome B. Claudia from Germany to the chat. She was out sending out all the social media stuff for everybody to tune in. So thanks, B, and hope all is well with you in Germany. I love it when we have people in Germany and we have people from all over the place watching the show. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, especially Dave Hughes. We're going to talk about Sadie Katz. I told Sadie that, in the scene that we're in the doctor's office, she should accidentally let one of her tits fall out. She said, "Oh, no, I can't do that. That's not in the script." I said, "No, but it would make Dave Hughes very happy."
He's not in the chat room now.
So Dave is not in the chat room.
No.
So Dave, you missed that. I was gonna say, Dave, watch the movie because you'll see Sadie's boob fall out, but really it's not. That's not in the script.
That's freaking hilarious, though. I think it's a lot of fun. Don't you think it's fun?
What's fun?
It's just everything with Sadie. I love Sadie.
I love Sadie. I love all the people I work with. They're all kids. They could be my Yeah, I understand. I'm getting a part in another movie now where I'm playing a grandfather. I mean, wow. From father to grandfather. How am I going to play a grandfather?
Easy.
I guess I could be the person's grandfather that I'm playing with, right?
Yeah, because the person's only 13.
Yeah, I guess
you wouldn't really be. I mean, you could be his great grandfather.
You know what? And you could go fuck yourself with a telephone pole and enjoy it.
That was fucking funny.
No, it wasn't funny. It was very ageist and cruel and mean and wrong.
Okay, 13 to 81.
And a half.
Oh, shit. Ron has that 81 and a half.
I went to my doctor, my heart doctor, and I said, I'm not getting around as much as I did. And I thought after this surgery, I'd have Energy Plus. He said, well, Ron, after all, you are 81 and a half. So I looked at him. I said, okay, fucko, you had to put the half in. So he started to laugh. I have a very cool heart specialist.
So Dave Hughes just joined us. Dave, you just missed. He was just talking about Sadie and her boobs.
Yeah, I asked Sadie to whip a tit out in the scene we're in the upcoming movie we're shooting in 2 weeks for you. And Sadie said, I would, but it's not in the script, so I can't. But see, Dave, we were going to have a boob come out.
As long as you buy
just for you.
The film when it comes out, there will be a shower scene.
Yes, there is a shower scene. Because I know Dave Hughes is madly in love with Sadie Katz. He thinks she's the sexiest girl in the world, which she's one of the
Dave loves it. He's all happy. Oh, also, Angela Joseph joined us. She said, sorry,
Angie,
she's late.
baby.
Hey, Angela, how are you?
I love those children, those grandchildren you have. How'd you make such pretty grandchildren?
Your like new grandchild is so gorgeous.
Yeah, I mean, they're beautiful children. The apple did not fall far from the tree because you're no great beauty, honey. I had to get back at her for one of her old jokes that she pulled on me. She called me old and something, so I had to get back at her. Oh, Angie, you're a pretty girl. That's why your grandchildren are pretty.
Absolutely. You got to like
Anyway, when are we going to see you? You ever coming to California, or are you going to stay in that homophobic state called Colorado?
I don't think it's homophobic.
Oh, it's very homophobic, Colorado.
Anyway, we're going to bring on our first guest, so we'll see how it all goes. Let's see how we do. Come on in. Let him in, Roxy. Hello, Robert. How are you?
Hi, Jimmy. Hi, Ron.
Hey, how you doing? Oh, bearded one.
I'm fantastic. How are you, gentlemen? Nice to see you.
Nice to see
Good.
you too.
Now,
He's in
let me-
Idlewild, I think. Are you in
You're up in
Idlewild?
Idlewild?
I'm in Lake Arrowhead.
Lake Arrowhead. Ron loves it.
I
there.
love it there. You know, so you have 32 degrees now or lower. It's very cold up there now.
It's you know what? I just moved here. I just bought a house in August, and so I'm living up here during the week, and I still have my place in Los Angeles. But everyone was telling me in September it's going to start snowing. It's going to be snowing, but it's not too bad yet. It's
Well,
not.
I
It's
go
nice.
I go up to Arrowhead in February. You know, my kids and I and Jimmy, we all go up there for the snow. We take the dogs, and everybody runs wild in the snow. It's quite a lot of snow up there. More so in Big Bear than Arrowhead. There's snow.
Yeah,
Tell me,
this will
when
be
you-
my first winter up here, so I'm looking.
you'll love
forward.
it. It's really Christmas time. You're growing out your beard. Was it itchy and horrible and disgusting?
No, it's very soft and soothing. Everyone thinks I have a huge, massive beard, and I really don't have that heavy of a beard. It just, if you let it grow, it looks real long. But I'm not a real a hairy guy actually, so it's pretty soft.
Hang on, we have to introduce him.
Well, my beard's not good either. I was thinking of cutting some pubic hair off and gluing it to my chin.
Yeah, you can do that.
I
That would
love
be an
my
interesting
beard.
goatee.
So hang on. We're going to introduce you now. Hey, everybody. Now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, writer, actor, producer, director, Robert Paul Taylor. Hello and welcome to the show.
Woo!
There we go. That was
Now
my
we
good
got
intro.
you.
Now we've
because
got you.
I'm shooting a film next week and I wanted to look different. So I'm growing a beard out and it itches. It gets caught on everything. It's driving me
And
crazy.
he's only been growing it 2 days.
No.
You got to
No,
get
he's-
past the 2-week mark.
Yeah, well, Jimmy's very evil today, saying mean things to me.
No, it has only been 2 days.
He doesn't know what's going to happen this week if he keeps up the evilness.
So hold on. So before we get started, we have
I get even.
a chat room full of people. So let's say hi to everybody in the chat room.
Who's in the chat room? That's interesting.
Not you. I want him to say hi to everybody
Oh,
in
you-
the chat room.
Guys, how are you?
There you go. We have like a bunch of different countries represented. They're already saying how cute you are, so that's like really nice. And
Thank you.
they're a lot of fun. So you guys, we met Robert. How do people call you? They call you Robert Paul Taylor. They use your. I love your name because it's like a big long name. Do
Thank
they
you.
usually just call you Robert, or do they call the whole name so because it sounds so impressive, or how do they usually talk to you?
Bobby.
Most people call me Robert. My family and I've got my one agent calls me Bobby.
Okay.
I call you Bobby too because I can't remember your fucking name. It's so long.
Yeah, you can call me Bobby.
I
So
call you Bobby.
so you guys.
My name is Ronnie. It's not Ronnie. My name is Rolando. Where they got Ronnie from Rolando, I'll never know.
Did you go by Ron Russell?
Yeah, but Ron. But I only because everybody that knows me as Ronny. Ronnie.
Ronnie.
That's funny.
At 81 years old, you can't be a Ronnie
So,
anymore.
so you guys listen up. So Ron and I met Robert and his fiance, right?
Brianna.
Brianna.
So
yeah.
what
Is
happened with
she a
what happened?
fiance or a wife? I don't know.
She is my girlfriend. She's still going
Girlfriend.
strong.
Okay.
Oh, so no marriage coming up? What's going on?
I knew Ron was going to dig into me.
Yeah, I'm not digging in. I'm just saying if I were her father, I'd beat the shit out of you and say you could never go near her again or have you killed.
They say you're not cute. You're really good looking.
No. What? You're not married yet? You got the house up in Big Bear. You got a lovely little wedding there.
Yes, we could. It's very beautiful up here. We actually just came back from the Yucatan. We were celebrating our 2-year anniversary, and we had a nice trip for 10 days. And she'll be coming.
Oh, I
up
have to go to lunch with her. and
So
talk
we have to
to
go
her.
back and explain. So Ron and I met Brianna and Robert when
She's
Sean,
adorable, by
Sean,
the way. I
Sean
love her.
Kanan had a party and it was on the roof of the Roosevelt
That's
Hotel on Hollywood, on Sunset Boulevard or wherever the hell that is, down in LA for the Emmys when Studio City got nominated for an Emmy, and we met them there. They were super cool. Ron spent a lot of time talking with them.
Brianna, in English, Ron. Brianna is quite beautiful, folks.
Yes, she's got a beautiful fiance, and she's.
I don't know why you're not married to her. I don't get it. Like, what's with you guys? What are you afraid of getting married?
Don't worry, Robert. He says this to every guest.
No,
that comes
no.
on.
No, you know what it is? I'm sick and tired of men using women.
Oh yeah.
And they use these poor broads. These broads hanging there waiting for a ring. And 9 out of 10 times they get dumped.
She's in real estate. She doesn't need to wait for him.
No, and when I got news for you. With her face, She don't need to wait for anybody.
She's gorgeous.
She's
All
gorgeous.
she's got to do is go out in the market. She'll be gone in a minute.
Yeah.
So anyway, we met
So if
them
I were you, I'd throw a net over her and make it official.
last,
I really
last
love
week.
her.
Last week,
I took to her very strongly. She's the sweetest girl in the world.
last week we
we
actually had
Very,
an
very
act-
bright. No, she's a doll. She and I really got along. I have to have lunch with her and educate her.
we had a
You know, I have.
we had a couple
excuse
on the
me.
show. I'm talking.
Fuck you. I have a saying: no rock, no cock.
No rock, no cock.
I got to teach her that.
So we had he did this last week. We had this couple, a couple, and one of them was we're doing the Macy's parade, and he was in Florida, I think, and they were on, and so he was like totally putting the guy on the spot, like when are you
Nobody
gonna like
wants
marry?
to get married. It's like marriage is a terrible thing. I've been married 3 times. I loved it. I did it over and over again.
Yeah, we're not against it. You know, we're something we're looking forward to in the future. But we both come from divorced parents, so it's not something on the
So
top of
what?
my
That
list.
doesn't mean you're going to be divorced. That's bullshit. I came
No.
from
Actually,
parents.
you guys are a perfect couple, though.
I came from parents that were together for 55 years, and I got divorced. I divorced my wife because I didn't like her.
You guys are such a great couple. Let's go to let's talk about his career a little bit.
Yeah, what are you doing
So-
besides masturbating and abusing that woman?
Okay, so hang on. First of all, you guys, you can follow Robert on Instagram. He's
she there?
Robert Paul Taylor.
Is Brianna there?
She's probably
No,
working.
she's working. She'll come up tonight. We just got a big tree for the house, and she's going to do all the decorating. She's
See that
working.
she's a catch boy. She does decorating. She works. She's a pretty girl. I love her. If I was straight, I'd take her away from you.
Well, you're not.
No,
so
I'm
so
not,
you
but
guys
You
listen.
never
here.
know. They might like gays. A lot of women like gays, so be careful.
That's so funny. They're all upset though that you have a girlfriend because you're good looking,
Oh,
which
fuck.
always happens. All the
He's-
guys
he's
always.
not that great looking. You got to see her. She's gorgeous. He's okay. He's okay, but she's gorgeous.
All right. So you guys can follow Robert on Instagram, and he's actually been. So how long have you actually been working in acting? A long time, because I went back on your IMDb, and it goes back
Yeah.
a long time.
20 years.
20 years, you guys, and
20 years.
and you don't even look old
So
enough.
you're
to
an
do
old
that.
goat. You better marry fast before the Pinel doesn't work anymore.
All right, let's go. Finish the marriage jokes. We're done. Now let's talk about other
No, I
shit.
didn't do marriage. I'm doing penis jokes. At 40-something years old, you know, the penis gets a little not so hard anymore, and the girls get a little frustrated.
So I have a question. First of all, so you guys, he was in an episode of Better Call Saul. We had Patrick Fabian on the show
Oh, wonderful.
a couple years
How do
ago.
you know
What a
Sean?
great guy.
How do you know Sean?
Wait, you're on a different topic. Stop and let's go back. Let me finish talking about one thing, and then
You're
you talk
so
about
boring,
another.
Jimmy. I
No,
try
I'm not
I try to
boring.
make it interesting.
Yes. So no, everybody loves Patrick Fabian. So how did you like being on Better? I mean, that's one of the biggest shows on television.
It was wonderful. Yeah, I'm in the season finale of season 5, and I'm in the season premiere of season 6. So I've got one more ep coming up when the new season comes out next year. I'm not sure exactly when. You know, they had a little delay because Bob had little health issues.
Yes,
So there was a
yeah.
little hiccup. But it was wonderful. You know, it was great. We shot out in Albuquerque, and as usual, I got to do a lot of stunts, and I usually play either, Sicario or military type guys. And we had a nice top secret location, and got to do some stunt work. And
Do you do a lot of stunt work?
I do. I'm not a stunt man, but I do tumbles and falls and firearms and weapons, and I've got some fighting experience and training. And so I
And
try
they pay you separate.
No, I'm not a stunt man. I'm a
So
performer.
you do all that shit and it's on the daily salary?
It depends. Sometimes I get a stunt bump. When it comes to Saul, we were firing M4s with blanks, and so when it comes down to the final shot with the blanks and the quibs, I do have a stunt double, for safety and
Right.
but a lot of
Especially
times
now.
it depends what it is. You saw that I have this farmers commercial out.
We're gonna play it. I've got it. I downloaded it so we can play
Okay.
it for everybody because I love
Are we
anything that has to
allowed-
do
are we-
with this.
Are we
So
allowed?
it's funny because I'm getting dragged across the concrete at 25 miles an hour with a wire on a skid plate, and that they didn't call that a stunt.
Oh, go away. Go away. That's not a stunt. What do they
Yeah,
call
well-
it? Stunt, jumping off the Empire
That's
State
a really
Building?
big deal, though. Farmers
you could have
commercials
gotten
are
hurt.
huge.
You could have gotten hurt on that.
I
gonna
did
play
and
it
I
for
pulled it
everybody.
off, but later in the day, I'm like, "Is this a stunt bump?" And they said no, and I said, "Oh, really? 25 miles an hour across the concrete?"
Oh, bullshit. I would have said, fuck you. No,
Yeah.
you deserve to be paid stunt for that. That's
Sure.
baloney. Cheap.
You have a
cheap. Good, but, go
cheap,
ahead.
cheap. What is the commercial for?
Farmers
I've got
insurance.
two
Oh, Farmers
national-
Insurance, you're a very cheap company.
With J.K. Simmons, he's an Academy Award winner. So like anything
What a
that
crappy.
you get to do,
You're lucky you had this man in your commercial.
you have a really
Otherwise, your commercial would be nothing.
you have a really good commercial agent though, because you got really big commercials under your
Yeah.
belt. Like,
I've got two nationals running right now, so I've been lucky.
what's the
this
other
year.
one? Farmers. What's the other one?
I'm in a Verizon commercial for Visible, and that one, if that one's really funny. If you go to iSpot.tv
Uh-huh.
and type in Visible, it'll pop right up. It's playing all over. I've been getting calls from Mexico to New York to people I haven't talked to since I was in high school, and it's a Visible commercial. And I'm on a paddleboard holding up another guy talking about the phone service. But we shot that one in a lake as well. I'm doing acro yoga on a paddleboard, holding up
pay.
a 180-pound Brazilian guy, and that's not considered a stunt anymore either.
You know what? You better get a different manager. Because if I was your manager, you'd be getting paid.
I think I did get a stunt bump on that, but we had to fight for it.
What when you think holding a 180-pound man on your head on a
Oh, I
lake
tossed
on
I
a
tossed him in the
surfboard?
lake about 15
You
times
tossed
during
him in the lake.
Visible.
Hold on, let's play. We're gonna play the farmers one. So here's what I want you to do. Roxy, get the farmers commercial ready. Go ahead. Tell us. Introduce the commercial for us, and we'll let Roxy play it for everybody.
So Farmers is I'm playing a superhero. I'm the bad guy. There was a real sweet gal. I think her name was Nikki. Can't remember her last name. We're having a superhero fight. She takes off to go see a car accident, and J.K. Simmons is already there, and he saved the day with the good insurance quote. You know?
We've seen this commercial a
Check
lot.
it out. Check it out,
Yeah,
everybody.
This commercial's out. It plays quite a lot, folks.
Check it out,
You'll
everybody.
recognize it when you see it.
Go, Roxy. Go.
Somebody needs saving. Don't worry, citizen. I'm here to save.
Already saved.
The day?
Switched him to Farmers so he could save an average of $441 on his auto insurance.
Okay. I guess I'll go save the world or whatever.
If you need saving, get a quote from Farmers.
I fucking love it. I love all that superhero shit. I saw it on your Instagram, and so that's why I like.
Yeah,
pulled
well,
it.
the opening shot, they have it real tight, but I've got a rehearsal shot where you see me getting pulled across the concrete, and it was
25
definitely,
feet.
no, it's 25
Anytime,
miles an hour.
anytime you're wired, no matter what,
Sure.
anytime you're wired, it's called a stunt.
Oh,
If
yeah.
they wire you up in the air, or they pull you, or they throw you,
all that stuff when I come up from my back, that was all wire work too. You know, I do all that stuff.
I would really see an attorney. You'll never work again, but you could try seeing an attorney.
So, you guys, some of the other commercials that he's been
Well,
in.
can I just say something? I was in a movie where I was my leg torn off by a rat, and the rat throws me against the door, and then the rat consumes me. Well, Lionsgate came running in saying, "We just found out your age. You're not allowed to do this because you may get hurt, and we don't have a stunt double for you. So we're going to make you go in the basement, and the rat eats you in the basement, and no one sees it." And I was so disappointed because I wanted to see myself being eaten by a rat.
Yeah.
So that's what they do now. They just cut you out of the scene.
Yeah.
So
So
you-
you see now. It's too
some
bad.
of the other
So they could have
commercials-
cut you out of that commercial if you objected to the wire.
No, you couldn't
No,
object to
I'll
the
do
wire
it.
because
I'll
you
do
couldn't
it.
do it.
No.
So,
Right.
so you guys, other commercials. Robert's been in. He's also been in a Schweppes commercial, a Boost Mobile commercial, Citibank Visa, Mitsubishi, and probably a lot more because that was just all I could pull off of IMDb. But I think it's awesome, like to be in those kinds of commercials.
I'm a
especially the
union guy.
farmers.
I'm a union guy. I fight for the union benefits. And there are so many benefits in our union that nobody knows about, little tricks and stuff that if you learn, you can be protected. Look at this thing where he shot that. What's his name? Who I don't like. What's his name?
Oh,
Baldwin.
Alec Baldwin. I mean, what the hell was that all about? Did he really intend to shoot
No,
that
he
broad?
didn't intend to
I mean,
shoot
how
her.
did the gun go? How did that happen?
That was
How
him.
does that happen? Who put bullets in the gun? I mean,
We don't. Nobody
it's
has a
scary. Now you were using guns in your thing.
Yeah,
Weren't you
we have,
Were you frightened? Were you frightened?
no, but I've shot real weapons before on multiple shows, and you have a military coordinator there. You have the armor, and you know it's very serious and very strict. And I could see something that happened on that set of Rust happening because oftentimes, if the set is not real tight, the armor will give you your gun. And you may go fuck around and have a cigarette break and start taking pictures and play around with your gun. You know, they're not watching you 100%. You have to be very responsible. Now, having live rounds is 100% different. But
Why were there live rounds?
well, that's what they're trying to figure out. It's.
Well, what do you think? What do you think? You've been around guns.
It said on the news that the crew was firing live rounds off camera target practice on off days. So they were
Oh
messing.
my
That's just fucking
God,
ridiculous.
That's against union.
They were messing around with guns offset, and somehow it must have got mixed in. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Oh
That's
my
just terrible.
God, that's a tragedy of tragedies.
So how did you meet Sean Kanan?
That's my question. But anyway,
I wrote a movie about 4 years ago with my producing partner named Jake Barsha. He's a wonderful director and writer. And we wrote a film called South 32. And we were in
funny.
We were in the casting process, and Sean came across our desk as one of our possible leads. We had dinner and met him and Michelle, and we just fell in love with him immediately. You know, he's a wonderful man. He's a brilliant actor and charismatic, and Michelle was great. And we had a great dinner, and we knew after that we wanted to work together. And so we made this film, South 32. And Sean and I really hit it off. You know, we just became friends. And as you know, Ron, every project
come on. Sean is a dearest friend of mine and Jimmy's, and so's Michelle. In fact, Michelle is directing a movie I wrote, and Sean's going to be in it with me. I love Sean Kanan. He's probably one of the best people, greatest actor, and his wife handles everything brilliantly. They're quite a team. I love Michelle and Sean beyond belief. I mean, it's not that Hollywood bullshit love. This is like real people.
No, he's great. He was great to work with, and
he's a sweetie pie. He's a sweetheart.
Yeah, he taught me a few things, and him coming off of 20 years of soaps, and Sean can do 40, 50 pages a day in dialogue.
I know that. I hate him.
And I'm a film actor, and I could do 6, 7, 10 if you push me, but 40 to 50 a day is next level, So I definitely learned.
It's no level, baby.
It's so funny because
I wear an earplug because I can't remember lines anymore. I'm too old, and Sean teases me about it, and we laugh back and forth. And he said to me, "If you got 40," I said, "Yes." Jimmy would read the 40 pages to me, and I repeat them. So does Johnny Depp. So does all the old bag actors. The time, what's his name? Robert De Niro uses an earplug. Al Pacino uses an earplug. Anne Mirren, whatever her name, Helen Mirren. Whereas all the old bags do, because we don't remember anymore. But 40 pages is a joke. It's a joke. 40 pages.
I don't know. Like I said, it's definitely a muscle, and you exercise it. I'm sure after years of working in soaps, it becomes easier. But he was.
And let me interrupt you. He gets that 40 page the day of the shoot.
No, the night before.
Sure.
No, he said to me, they've altered scripts where they've added 10, 20, 30 pages and twisted it around. And they say, here you go. You're on in 2 minutes. Read, learn.
Yeah. So we actually, it's funny because I didn't know who you were back then, but when South 32, when he did all of that stuff, because we've known Sean for many, many years. So we brought him on the show. We promoted it. We did an episode but I didn't know that was your film. I didn't know that was your film.
Yeah, Jake Carson and I, we wrote that. We shot it. I co-starred in it with Sean. We also had Melissa Archer, who's a big soap name.
Yep.
And Jessica Cameron is in it, who's a really good friend of ours.
I love Jessie.
Jessica Cameron did a fantastic job.
She's one of my super buds. By the way, folks, this guy really is handsome in person. I was just busting his crates because he's a conceited fuck. But no, he's really good looking in person. I told you that when I met you, you were handsome. I wasn't coming on to you. I was telling you how handsome you were. But his future wife, Nick Bice, when he gets married this spring, his future wife is far more better looking than he is.
He is much better looking, and you were going to definitely be at the wedding, Jimmy.
I swear to God, if you
definitely.
don't invite me, I'm going to burn your house down. Watch
So
Facebook.
I
throw us
saw
off or
one
something.
movie that was on your IMDb, and I think you maybe were only an extra in it, but it was, I want to bring it up just because to me it was such a groundbreaking movie. It was Red State. Did you actually watch that movie?
I did watch the movie, and God, it was so years ago. That was Kevin Smith.
Yeah, it was a Kevin Smith, and he's been on our show, but we weren't promoting.
You know,
Red
all
State.
these movies are on YouTube. So if you go into YouTube, folks,
Yeah, Ron watches movies on
you,
YouTube.
yeah,
all the time.
they have movies that are 20 years old, 1970 and 80 movies, which is wonderful, not just 1940 movies. So if you want to see any of the films that this bad actor's in, you can find it on you. His wife is
Actually, he's
future
in
wife is
Couples Retreat,
fabulous.
but Red State though, and I don't even exactly remember what it is. I just remember it was so shocking. It was like an anarchist type movie.
So what are you producing now?
Right now, I'm not producing anything. The last thing I did was after South 32. Jake and I made another film called The Mask of Janus, where we were in pre-production, and then we lost funding for that, and then we made a mini series for this network called the Zeus Network. It's available online, and I created a show called Sober Coach, which is like a dark comedy about the sober companion world. It's a narrative. It's not a reality show. It's a mini TV show. It's 8 episodes. That premiered in 2019. It's on the Zeus Network. You can find it on all the applications out there. And then shortly after that, I did Saul. I worked on The Good Place, Ted Danson show. I did an episode on Vita on Stars. And
Isn't Kristen Bell in that Good Place too?
Yep.
Yeah, I love Kristen Bell.
Yeah, I did an episode in the last season, and a lot of people love that show. I mean, I get.
I've never seen it, but I'm a huge fan. I've met her several times, and she's super freaking nice. And I was a huge Veronica Mars fan back in the day.
And I have to apologize for something because, people, a lot of guests that come on our show, they're offended that we don't watch their work. And I like to say to them, I do 4,000 interviews since I'm in this racket, over 4,000 interviews. If I'm going to watch all of my 4,000 movie stars, I'm never going to go to the bathroom, eat, sleep, or walk. I'm just going to sit in front of a TV forever. So I only watch, if you're pushing something now, tomorrow, I will watch it because I have to push it. But I really don't have time, neither does Jimmy, to see all of everybody's work.
Actually, though, I've seen a lot of yours.
Yeah, well, you're in everything. You work a lot. You're an easy watch.
So hey, here's other TV shows, you guys. He's been in Better Call Saul, The Good Place, and I didn't write everything down. Vita, which I don't know what that one is. Sober Coach, which I saw that was 8 episodes. Berlin Station, Liberty Crossing, Fresh Off the Boat, New Girl, East Los High, The Bathroom Diaries, Nash Bridges, Party of 5. That would have been when you were younger. I used to love Party of 5. Men of a Certain Age was a great show. Actually, all these are really big shows, though. None of them are like little shit shows.
We've seen some of them, not all of them, but some.
I'm just like you, Ron. I don't watch a lot of television, and I don't watch a lot of the shows I work. I'll watch an episode or two to feel the tone, but I come in on season 4 or 5. I'm not going to watch 80 hours.
Yeah, I agree. And you know what? The shitty movies I'm in, I never even watch them. I go to the red carpet and I cringe. I say, ugh. I hate myself on screen. Do you like yourself on screen?
I don't not like myself, but I usually get pissed off because I'll say, oh, the coverage was bad, or we should have done this coverage better, or what happens is people will say, hey, I saw you on The Good Place, and I'll say, well, was I a good guy or a bad guy or whatever? Like, I don't know the storyline that well, so I'll say, well, what happened at the end, or do you watch that show? And so yeah, I don't mind. I don't cringe watching myself, but it's hard to not watch yourself and think, oh, this coverage would have been great. Or
well, wait. I have a mirror in my bathroom that I look 21 and magnificent in, and then when I see myself on screen, I want to cry. I say, "You ugly, wrinkled, degenerate old bag, give it up. You're finished. You're
ugly.
You're
so handsome, Ron.
Not on film."
well,
Not
you
on.
are right now and in person. We met you. We loved you, and you're
Yeah,
very
but when I work on film, I always play a mafia killer. So I do my mafia killer face, and that face is a distorted, ugly, wrinkled old face.
That's
Anyway,
okay. We just get better looking.
but do you critique yourself? Do you say, "Oh shit, that line! I was uncomfortable with that line. I knew I shouldn't have done it that way. Damn it! Why didn't I do it this way?"
Not so much. More
I do.
technical stuff. More.
No,
It
I do.
depends.
No.
If you're coming in for a guest star, you only have so much room. If you're in a co-star, you get no coverage. But like East Los High, I did 8 episodes, and season 2 was probably one of my most screen time jobs. And when you have more screen time, you have the flexibility to experiment and explore and really expand and try different things. It depends
but
what job you're on.
My thing is, a line in a movie tells the story. And the line, if it doesn't tell the story, the line doesn't work. And they don't understand this today. I did films 40, 50 years ago, okay? Back then, the director understood that. And he would say to you, whoever you, like you and for instance, Bobby, the line is this, and you're not getting across what the line means. You're saying it, but you're not doing it. You know what I mean? And
Sure.
actors today, they don't do that. A line, like, let's do a simple line. I don't like you. Okay, that's a very simple line. But if you say it like I said it, it doesn't mean anything. But if you understand the line and make it part of the movie, then it works. If you understand what I'm saying, I don't even understand what I'm saying.
I do. It's
It's so important. Lines are so freaking important.
It's a spoke in the wheel of storytelling. And
Absolutely.
Sometimes
Absolutely.
your job is to just push the storyline and push the arc of
Yeah, but sometimes the line doesn't work. I was in a movie where I played a gangster, and the line was like, let's make it up, like, "Oh shucks, darn heck, I'm gonna hit you." I mean, racketeers don't talk that way. So I told the director, I said, "This line is for the birds. Where is this gangster in Greenwich Village? He's gay. I mean, this sounds like a gay gangster in the village." He said, "Well, what's wrong with it?" I said, this is how it should be said. And I said it Brooklyn style. You know what he said to me? "Oh, no one's going to understand that."
Why not?
Because I used the word joint. I said, "Yeah, with a coffee cup smell like dirty ass." Remember the joint with a coffee cup smell like dirty ass? That was my line. And
Yeah.
he didn't understand. He said, "People won't what a joint is." I said, "Well, they're morons, because joint in any racketeer movie is a place. Everybody knows what the joint, right?"
Yeah, it's jail.
Do you ever
I
fight
love
with a
it.
director because you want a line a certain way?
Nah, Jake and I, who we've made a few projects together, we'll go back and have discussions. We made a project called The Bathroom Diaries, which is something else I also wrote and star in. It's available to watch online, and that was our
On
first.
on YouTube? On
Tell
YouTube?
us where it's available
Yeah,
so we can
where's
get
it
people to go
available?
look at
It's
it.
online. It's watchthebathroomdiaries.com. WATCH bathroomdiaries.com. Watch the Bathroom Diaries.
Interesting title. Give me some of it.
What's it about?
Give me some.
It is a drug addicted probation officer, sex addict, falling off the edge of his morality. Yeah, that's it right there. Watch the bathroomdiaries.com. That was
Sounds
actually
good.
It's
Sounds
very
good.
good. It's a mini series I wrote about 8-10 years ago, and we took it to AFM and we pitched it. And at the time, there's a lot of sex and a lot of drugs in it. It was very risque, and the people at AFM didn't want to touch it. And we found a company that wanted to pick it up. Another company wanted to turn it into a feature. I got a few more jobs out of it. But now television has changed so much in the last 10 years. It would just be like any other show.
It would be boring compared to what some of the shit they show.
Yeah, it wouldn't be boring, but it definitely.
Well, you know what I mean.
wouldn't be
Boring is a wrong word. It would be like kindergarten.
Yeah. Well, it was funny because I wrote the main character Ray in the show. You can hear his inner monologue, and it was like no one had really was doing that before, and then all of a sudden, Mr. Robot came out, and you hear his inner monologue, and it was like this huge hit. And I was like, I fucking was doing that 5 years ago,
No,
Nobody-
isn't that terrible? They
Now,
probably
do
got it
you
from
like
you.
playing bad better than good?
I do. It's funner,
Me too. I love playing bad.
I'm one of those guys that I have dark features, I was in denial for many years. I needed glasses, so I have a very heavy frown. Most commonly, people ask me, "You're so serious," or "What are you thinking? Are you okay?" But really, in my real life, I'm very lighthearted. I'm quirky. I'm playful. I'm sensitive. I'm a pretty easygoing guy. But my general, go-to pocket is a untrustworthy blue collar. And so
Well, they think that of me also because I played rotten tough guys. They think I'm rotten in person. I'm sarcastically funny because I'm a New York comedian, but I'm not bad. I'm really a good guy inside, but I like playing bad because it's not
Yeah.
who I am.
people used
So
to
you
ask
like
me
it
all the
also?
time.
You
Yeah, they
like
used
bad.
to ask me, "Are you from New York?" And I'd say, "No, I'm just an asshole." That was my
Oh,
my go-to.
Wait, you are
You
from
also-
you are from New York,
No, I'm from San Francisco. I was a wannabe New Yorker growing up.
but
I
you
grew
sound
up-
like New York.
when I was a kid, I wanted to be a New Yorker. I grew up. I loved the fast talking. I love the assertiveness. I love when they
Yeah.
tell you, "You know what? I don't want to hang out with you. You piss me off."
See,
Go
I mean
fuck-
that's so Brooklyn. I can't breathe.
I love that.
That's great.
I talk
You
like
do a
that.
good one. I talk, but they hire me for my Brooklyn accent. You know why? My Brooklyn accent is called antique Brooklyn. The young people in Brooklyn don't speak like this anymore. All the old goats, I'm the only one left that can speak and hear, at my age. So they hire me for my Brooklyn accent because it is an antique accent.
It's nice. Yeah.
And yours is good than what you did. I cringe when I see some stars that I happen to know personally and I see their film and they say to me, "Ron, what'd you think of my New York accent?" I say, "Oh shit, don't ask me that question." And I just look at them and I said, "Very Hollywood. Very Hollywood, not New
Appreciated
York."
the honesty of New Yorkers. I'm born and raised in San Francisco. I'm West Coast kid my whole life.
Oh, so but you sound East Coast. That's good.
I'm telling you, I was a wannabe New Yorker. I grew up in all those gangster
Yeah.
movies and Bronx
Yeah.
Tale and all that stuff. I wanted
Right.
to be a wise guy.
Right.
You did though, like because you did
It's
another
the best
movie.
part to play wise guys. Don't you love playing a wise guy?
Yeah, I mean, it's still my favorite type of movies.
But your favorite character, wouldn't you love to play the head of the mafia or something? I would play that one day.
I would
Is that-
play that. It's funny in the last few years. So I worked a little bit here and there through my 30s. And around 32, I grew my beard out for the first time in my life. And as soon as I grew my beard out, I just started working. And so I've kept it. But as soon as I grew my beard out, I play more Middle Eastern.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
going to say that.
yeah.
I
I was
play
gonna
more
say-
Greek, Moroccan,
Arabic,
Pakistani
yeah.
guys.
Like drug cartel leader people.
Iranian, you pass for an Iranian.
Yeah, real Europeans, they seem to see my Italian because I am Italian. I'm Italian and Spanish with a
Me,
little
me
Native
too.
American.
I'm Italian, 100%.
Italians know I'm Italian, but a lot of people will guess who don't know. When
Oh,
when
you have
know
an
you're not-
Italian face. I hate to break it to you. The Spanish ain't there, buddy. You have a real Ginzo face. That nose, no, you have an Italian face. That's
So you-
nice. Italian men are handsome.
So you
We are
did.
the handsomest men in Europe are Italian men.
So you did a movie called Coyote with, and I'm bringing it up. I don't even know what it's about, or even if it ever came out, but I'm bringing it up
You did.
because you did it with Augie Duke, and Augie Duke's a good friend of
Oh,
ours.
love
We love
Augie.
Augie Duke.
We love Augie Duke. Love, love, love. She's
Nice.
pregnant. She's going to have a baby soon.
He
I
might
have
not
a
even know
funny
who she
story.
is.
I have a
Okay.
funny story about Coyote I can tell you.
Okay, go.
Coyote is it's a movie about a coyote. It's a girl who wants to come across the border. I played a border cop, and the director is this real great guy. His name is Joe Eddy, and the movie's out. I went to the premiere. I'm not sure where it was playing, but it was an interesting time in my career. And I was listening to Tony Robbins workshops, and I was trying to think. As an actor, it's an invisible industry. We don't know why you hired me and why you don't. And so I started thinking, I want to ask these directors, why did you hire me? So
Because you're cheap, because you don't get paid a lot.
So listen to this. So I'm at the premiere and I go and I just saw this Tony Robbins thing and I said, I'm going to start asking people why you hired me. So I go up to Joe, the director, and I go, "Hey, Joe, thanks. I had a great time on the film. Looks great." I go, "I want to know, why did you hire me?" And he goes, "I didn't want to hire you. I didn't think you were great. My wife was in the room and she said, you got to hire that guy." And so I did.
Do not laugh. This happens more times than you think.
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
I
believe
never
me,
asked the
wives have a
director
lot to
again,
do with
but
it.
It was so funny. I loved his honesty.
No,
Nice.
a wife can absolutely cast someone. There's no question
Yeah.
about that. I've
You said, "I
known
didn't
and
know you
heard
were
it
that
over the
great."
years. I'm 64 years in the business, and I've heard a lot of directors and producers say, "Hey, if I didn't hire him, my wife wasn't going to sleep with me."
Yeah.
So
Yeah. He said, "My wife thought you were fantastic. She said you must hire him. I didn't think you were that great."
That's
So I think that was
funny.
funny. But I no longer did the asking.
So how did you come up with the whole thing that, because you do everything, you according to your IMDb, you direct, you write, you act, you produce. Like, how did you decide I'm going to be in the entertainment industry, and how old were you when you made that decision?
I started off taking the bus into San Francisco when I was 16 to Pier 39, and I fell in love with juggling. And I sort of my first love was to be a street performer. I juggled.
big career move.
What's that?
Big career move.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you juggle? Can you actually juggle?
I can. I can still juggle. I do torches, machetes, clubs, and I fell in love with juggling at 16 in Pier 39. And I traveled to Europe in the late 90s through the 90s for 3 or 4 months at a time, and I would bring my juggling clubs and meet up with other jugglers, and we'd take the train and we'd pass the hat and buy hash and stay in hostels, and I loved that for a while. And then I got into dancing. I did a bunch of music videos. I was into the dance scene. My first job was in 1996 for MTV, and I was cast in 3 commercials for M2 when in 96 they split off.
Yeah.
They started doing the grind. They started playing commercials. It was sort of like, in my opinion, the downfall of they stopped playing music videos.
It was a downfall. I agree.
So that was my first job, and it was 3 commercials. And then I did Party of 5. I had a bar scene. I did a scene with John Johnson and Nash Bridges. And by that time, I was 22. I was flying to Hollywood. I was part of a theater company down here. I wanted to be a movie star. So I
you work. You've been working. You know what? That juggling can come in handy. In the spring at your wedding, you could juggle something for us.
I can still do it. I don't have my clubs here, but so that carried on. At the same time, my first juggling mentor had written a book of poetry when he was homeless as a kid, and it inspired me to start writing poetry. And so I've written 10 books of poetry as a hobby. I've got 8 of them on Barnes & Nobles and Amazon.com.
That's cool.
They sell all over the world. So poetry books are sort of my hobby. And I lost my father to brain cancer in 2008. And I'd put out about 7 books. And I got burned out of writing poems. And I said, you know what? I want to write a TV show. And so I took one of my novels and I wrote The Bathroom Diaries, which you guys played earlier. So that's The Bathroom Diaries is a spin on sort of my old life. And then I spent the next 5 years doing screenplays. I co-wrote a screenplay starring Crispin Glover called By the Rivers of Babylon.
I love him.
I co-wrote another film called Recoil, which is in pre-production. I wrote South 32. I co-wrote Mask of Janus. I co-wrote Sober Coach. So writing scripts is fun to me. I'm not great at coming up with ideas out of thin air, but I'm very good at rewrites. I'm very good at taking bullet points and blowing them up into 70, 80 pages.
I love it.
I can do that too.
I don't consider myself a director. I have made 3 or 4 films, so I know the ins and outs and how it works, but I don't consider myself a director, at least not yet.
Okay, so
you're pretty accomplished. You got a lot of stuff going on. You know the craft. You know the craft.
Still really hitting the acting, part. And
can I say something?
Yes, sir.
When you are about 65. You're going to come into something that you never imagined you could come into. I was told this by, what's his name, the actor, Cesar Romero. I was young, maybe in my 20s, and Cesar was already up in his 50s. And he told me this. He said, Ron, when you come into your 60s, you're going to come into something you don't quite understand. And it happens. The moment you get to be 60, 65, or 70, you find a tranquility inside of you that allows you to emote the best acting you ever done. Young is green. I agree with that. When you get to be an old bag and you've got it all underneath you, all those years of learning, it does show. Look at Christopher Plummer, how wonderful of an actor he was when he got old, but when he was young, he was terrible.
I agree
No,
with that.
seriously.
I agree with that. I'm only 45.
You've
But
got
I
a
think
way to go, but wait
in the
till
past
you're
few
older.
years, I already can relate to that. You know, in the past few years, when I work auditions, you know, with my partner or Bree, or I just want, if I don't sound like Robert, if I don't sound like myself. I mean, I spent many years trying to do all these things and that, and it took a lot of years to let go of all that shit I learned in classes and
Oh,
workshops.
class is the worst thing in the
It's
world.
just experience itself. Is I just trying to be honest and be myself, but the life experience, of course, is very helpful, and I understand what you're saying. You know, I can see glimpses of it already.
You
So
cannot learn in school. If people say I'm going to school to learn to act, I start to laugh. I said, no one learns to act. Either you are an actor or you are not an actor, but you learn to read lines, you learn to find out where your mark is, you learn where your key light is, but you don't learn to act. Acting is an emotion that comes from within. I have the ability, possibly you have the ability, to become what we read on that script.
Yeah.
That's acting, correct?
Yeah.
You
Well, I
have
wanna
to be
say
the character.
Thank you to B Cloud 59, said she's read some of my poetry. That's very sweet. Thank you.
oh, yeah,
Big-
she's
Big Claudia.
B Claudia lives in
Claudia.
Germany. Her name's B Claudia. She lives in Germany. She's fabulous.
That's
She
sweet, thank
supports
you.
everything that we do. And she loves reading music and books and stuff. So she'll definitely check. Actually, say hi. Just say hi, B Claudia. She'll love it.
Hi, B Claudia.
Yeah, she's really wonderful. Everybody who supports our show is really
Yeah,
wonderful.
B.
We have the
Claudia
most
is like our
wonderful
number
people.
one
She's in Germany,
fan and
I
friend.
lived in
Yeah,
Germany
she's in
for a
Germany.
summer.
So say hi in
tell her-
German. Say hello in German.
Guten Morgen. Kann ich einen Kuss haben? I lived in Bonn for a summer, and I street performed in Düsseldorf. Took the train to Cologne.
You were throwing things.
She
in
said
the
she
air?
bought the book Ashburn's Rise.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah, that's my newest book. That's 65 Days Through Southeast Asia.
Well, let's
It's,
hear about it. We're not talking about it. What's the title? Your ass burns.
It's called Burn Ash Rise.
Burn ass rise.
Ash.
Oh, burn ash. I like my title better. Your ass burns. Your ass burns will sell more copies. Tell us about it.
Burn Ash Rise is well, I've got, like I said, I've got 7 books of normal poetry. You know, a title, a beginning, and an ending. I spent 2.5 months traveling through Vietnam, Thailand, Cambodia, and Burn Ash Rise is sort of one big thought wave of traveling through Asia and just getting out of Americanism and capitalism and sort of detaching from the machine, which you know, we live from, and just my opinion on traveling and other culture.
That's cool. She wants me to tell you that she actually lives in Bonn.
Oh, really? Wow. I
Yeah.
lived there for a summer. It was beautiful. This was in probably 95.
That's very cool.
Yeah, I used to go to Love Parade in Berlin every other summer. I went to Berlin the first time in 93. I got a piece of the wall somewhere in my house, but I must have been in Bonn in 95 or 96.
I have a piece of the wall too, someplace actually.
Yeah.
So
I don't have a piece.
here's something I like to do with all the actors that come on. So bucket list, male and female actor that you think it'd be fun to work with that you haven't had an opportunity because you've already worked with a lot of really big people. And number 2, what movie, if you could be in any movie that's ever been made in history, what movie would you have liked to have been in? And the actor could be dead or alive. It doesn't have to be somebody who's alive.
Movie I would have loved to have been in was Heat, Michael Mann.
Oh, yeah, Al Pacino, Val Kilmer.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite movies. Or Fight Club.
I like Fight Club too.
I'm a huge Chris Nolan fan. I would love to work with him.
And he did Harry Potter.
Inception is one of my favorite movies as well. You know, I grew up on. I'm a different type of actor. I grew up on Die Hard. You know, and Lethal Weapon and
Yeah,
Mel Gibson and Terminators and those, you know, early 90 movies, and I always wanted to be an action star. You know, I like shooting guns and jumping out of planes and stuff like that.
You'd make a good villain in a James Bond movie. Because you look like you could be a James Bond villain. We should like start a campaign for you to be in the next James Bond after this one that's getting ready to come out comes out.
I did a show called Berlin Station. We shot in Budapest. Yes. Just before COVID, we were in Budapest and Vienna. And the makeup artist, wonderful woman named Tracy Wells, she was doing makeup on James Bond, and she was doing my makeup, and she was like, "You need to be in James Bond. I'm going to reach out to them. You need to be a next Bond villain." You know.
Now listen, you worked a lot, so you must have made a lot of money. So you can afford to get married this spring.
Sure.
Right? You can afford a little wedding. Won't cost you that much.
You're going to be there.
Of course I am. I'm going to plan the wedding.
We love
Your,
weddings.
your future wife and I are going to plan it. We're going to make it wonderful.
Okay, so
and we'll cover it also.
Give us an actor and an actress that you think would be fun to work with.
Wow.
Doesn't have to be your end all be all, but just two people that come to mind like, oh my gosh, I'd really love to work with this person.
God, there's a lot of, I would love to work with Jason Bateman. I really like him.
Yes,
I like him.
Me too. I like him as an actor.
I like Jason Bateman. I mean, of course, the big stars, you know, everybody wants to work with the big stars.
No, not necessarily. Not me.
Yeah, I really like Jason Bateman.
I want to be the big star. I don't want to work with the big star. Because you're invisible when you work with the big star.
Yeah.
They see to it. They make sure that if you're too good, they don't want you in the movie.
You know who else I like? What's his name? Who I'd really love to work with.
Do you like Jason Statham? That's Ron's favorite
I want to
action
work.
guy is
I
Jason
want to work
Statham.
with Jason.
I have not worked with Jason. I have met him briefly, and
How is he as a person?
He's short.
Very short. I know. But is he nice?
I was standing in front of him we were at must have been a Motorola party, and he was standing behind me, and I looked down, and I'm like, it's Jason Statham. You know, I mean,
when he looked
fantastic.
down.
He's a big, huge blockbuster movie star. Totally respect him, but I couldn't believe he was really short. I like Kyle Chandler.
Oh, me too.
I love him, and I don't know why. He's just one of my favorite actors. Ben Mendelsohn, I'd love to work with.
Kyle Chandler, he's the guy from Friday Night Lights, the coach, right? On Friday Night Lights?
He is.
Yeah, and he was in Godzilla or King Kong versus Godzilla.
Yeah,
he's in a lot of stuff.
He's in a lot of stuff, but he's I don't know what classification, but he's working nonstop. But I like those real deep blue collar, gritty. You know, he's just always looks fucking like he's going through the worst fucking divorce and got an ulcer and, you know, and it just, for some reason, I love him. He's great.
That's funny. See, my favorite actor of all time is Lance Henriksen, and he's like that too.
Oh.
I love Lance Henriksen. I see every movie he's in. I know him too, and he's been on the show, and I think he's great.
His ex-wife used to manage me.
Oh, that's so funny because when I met him, one of the first times I met him, I think the very first time I said, "Hey, I watched this movie. It was like Grizzly or some shit. I forgot what it was. It was terrible." I was like, "That was like the worst fucking movie I've ever seen." I told him, and he said, "Yeah, sometimes you just gotta take those movies for the alimony payments."
Yeah, Jane, his ex-wife, was my manager for a number of years. She's wonderful, and so every year at the Christmas party, he would come, and
I love him.
Yeah, they have a wonderful child together, and he's a great guy.
So give us a female. What are some female stars that you think would be fun to work with?
Now I'll go big with this. I'd love to work with Scarlett Johansson.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
That's a new one.
I'm just glad you didn't pick Meryl Streep.
No,
everybody picks Meryl Streep and Ron vomits.
And no, but Johansson. No one has picked Johansson yet.
Yeah, I like her. See, that's what I'm saying is my favorite movies weren't Gone with the Wind and Meryl Streep and Old School. I wanted to be in action movies, you know.
For me, it would be Charlize Theron and Julia Roberts. They're my two favorite.
And for me, it would be, I've worked with her once. I would love to work again with Sophia Loren. Now, as an adult, I'd like to play her husband in the movie. I would love to work with Sophia.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know who Sophia Loren is?
Sure, of course.
No, not everybody knows. It's so sad.
Actually, we do bring people in. Actually, this will be a test for you. It's a musical question. Do you know who Johnny Mathis is?
No.
Okay.
Oh,
see,
dear
and
God, I'm
people
gonna
don't know
shoot
John
myself.
Mathis.
Shoot myself.
We
Yeah,
have some people who
musicals-
come on and they don't even know who Barbara Streisand is. We've had people come
Musicals
on.
are
No,
and they
I
don't
was
know.
doing years ago. I did college lectures on theater acting,
Oh,
and I
Hollywood.
was doing a college thing, and a jerky kid was sitting in front of me, looking like he didn't know what the hell I was talking about, and I was talking about Jane Russell, who was my best friend, and then he didn't. I said, "You know who Jane Russell is?" He said, "No." I said, "You know who Barbara Streisand is?" He said, "No, but I've heard of her." And I thought to myself, Ron, get out of this room as quickly as possible because you are far out. You're over. You're living in another world. You don't know who Barbara Streisand
So you need to
is?
go onto Spotify and just plug in Johnny
The
Mathis
greatest
just for your
singer
own
in the world.
for your own just for your own like
Chances
thing.
are,
I mean, he's old. He's like
You know
in his
who else I like
90s.
is
86.
I thought of another female, Jessica Chastain. I'd like love.
Oh, she's phenomenal.
I don't know her. Who is she?
She's the redhead. I like her because she did all those like military movies about the Gulf War stuff
Yeah,
that she
I
did.
like
There were
Jessica
some really good
Chastain.
ones. And I just saw another one with her where she's like an assassin and she's really good.
You know, I'd love to work with like Christopher Walken. I want
I
to
know
Oh,
say,
Chris.
yes.
but it's like
Christopher-
I would probably be so nervous. I wouldn't be able
Nah.
to be at work and be at work. I would be like,
Nah, not with Chris Walken.
yeah,
No, Chris Walken and I grew up in the same neighborhood. We used to take the subway home at night together from
wow.
New York. I used to get all my birthday cakes from his aunt's bakery store. Chris is probably the easiest, nicest, most down-to-earth, unpretentious, terrific guy. You would work with him beautifully.
Oh, that's wonderful.
He's a giver. If you work with him, he would give you to make your role better. He's not a taker.
Okay,
Chris-
there you go.
Chris Walken is
might be my
real-
number.
You really would like work. I've never worked with.
I love that.
I may be working with him in a movie, but he's a great guy.
I
Chris
love
Walken.
that
just
Saturday
love
Night
him.
Live skit that he did with the cowbell too. I thought that shit was
He's a good, he's a good
hilarious.
friend. He's a good buddy.
All right, everybody. So we have another guest getting ready to call in. So we want everybody to first of all follow Robert Paul Taylor on Instagram. It's Robert Paul Taylor. It's easy to find. Check out. Make sure you watch the beginning of the new season of Better Call Saul when it comes out
And
because
watch
he's going to
that.
be in it.
It sounds very interesting.
Bathroom Diaries.
Bathroom Diaries.
Yeah, check it out.
I'm gonna watch it because it sounds very interesting.
It is. It is. I have Twitter. You can
Great
follow
title.
me.
Great title.
What's your Twitter?
My Twitter is at Street Fame Books.
At Street Fame Books, you guys on Twitter. So follow him on Twitter. We want to thank you for coming on the show,
And Bobby,
Yes.
when you see her,
Brianna.
well, we know her name. Give her a big, wet, juicy kiss from me.
I will.
And say to her, will you marry me in the spring?
All right.
He's
You will
working
be-
on it.
You will be
Learn
one
your
of
line.
the first 3 people to know, Ron.
There you go.
I would be so happy. I really would, because she's so crazy about you. She'd marry you in a
She's
second.
such a wonderful, wonderful woman.
She's a wonderful person. I mean, listen, I met her, and 5 minutes later, we were best friends, and I loved her. She was the sweetest and just nice, real people. I really I took to her like from another life, a former life, that kind of thing.
All right. So thank you so much and have a Merry
Thank you,
Christmas.
Jimmy.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Merry Christmas to you. Appreciate
Yes.
Thanks for having me on the show. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
baby.
All right, everybody. Now we're going to be bringing on our next guest. Before that, we're going to do a quick music break. This is the brand new single by Ricky Rebel, who we haven't had on the show in a very long time. But it just came out. The name of the song is Preacher. And then as soon as we finish with the song, 3 minutes later, we're going to bring on our next guest, Mr. Dane Rhodes. Take it away, Roxy.
Back up, I'm not your preacher. Back up, I'm not your preacher. Back up, I'm not your preacher. Back up, I'm not your. I met you in Waikiki, in the back of your red Jeep. We did things that I can't believe. I lock it up in my memory. I never said I was an angel. I never said I was an angel. Don't know if there's a heaven or hell. But I know one thing, if you're looking for salvation, I'll be your lover, I'm not your preacher. I'm not your Jesus, I'm not your father, but I'll be your daddy. the front seat. On your knees in my blue mini. We did things that I can't believe. Lock it in the spank bank memory. Yeah. For salvation, I'll be your lover, your lover. I'm not your preacher. I'm not your Jesus. I'm not your father, but I'll be your daddy, your daddy. I'm not your preacher. Freedom from temptation, they call me Jezebel. You're not having fun at all, too concerned with hell. I don't know what happens when I leave this earth. I'm gonna have a good time, get all that it's worth. Don't try to change me, don't try to box me in. I think I need to start my own religion. Get in my bed, get out of your head. You know you just came here to have a little fun. All these punks haters on my feet try to pull me down, pretending not to see all the love that surrounds me. They wish that they had my life. I'm not ashamed of having good sex, that's my only vice. That's right, I was an angel. I never said I was an angel. Don't know if there's a heaven or hell. Salvation, I'll be your lover, your lover. I'm not your preacher. I'm not your Jesus. I'm not your father, but I'll be your daddy, your daddy. I'm not your preacher.
Yay, everybody. That was Ricky Rebel. The name of the song is Preacher. Brand new. It just came out, and Ricky used to come on the show a lot. We haven't seen him too much. Actually, now that we live out here, we've seen him at a couple events. But we'll have to bring him on in the new year and see what we can do. So now we're going to bring on our next guest. Go ahead and let him in, Roxy. Let's see how we do. Hello, Dane. Hello, how are you?
Hi. I'm
good. Perfect.
How are you?
Good. I wanted to make sure I could hear you, so now I'll give you a formal introduction. All right, everybody. Now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show, incredibly talented actor, Mr. Dane Rhodes. Hello, and welcome to the show.
Hey, hi. Thank you for having me.
It's going to be fun. Let me get started with introduce you to my outrageous co-host, man about town, Mr. Ron Russell.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good, Ron. How are you? Who is that you have in your lap?
That's Astro, my 7-pound little son. He's a little baby boy. He loves me. He never leaves my side. I have to ask her. I'm growing a beard for a part I'm playing in a movie next week. Was it uncomfortable when you started your beard? Did it itch and make you nuts?
No, I don't know why, but I have one of those soft beards.
See, another one with
the last
beard.
guy had a big
Mine
beard
grows in
too.
soft. I have like 3 days when it's growing where it's all bristly.
Yeah, mine feels like
this one's about to come off. I'm almost done with the show where that I have it for. So you can have it if you want, Ron. I can send it to you.
Yeah, I wish, because growing it out is driving me nuts. And then we have to dye it because it's going to be a goatee and a mustache. We have to dye it like my eyebrows. So I'll have black eyebrows and black beard with white hair. Interesting.
I like that look.
Yeah, well, I don't want to look demonic, but it's okay.
So we have a...
Why do you have the beard? For what reason?
It's for a movie called The Visitor.
Okay.
So,
who's in it?
So why do you need why is the beard essential?
It's the description of the character that I play. I am sort of let us say, an unorthodox religious leader.
Okay.
So there's more of a mountain man of him than there is of
Okay,
You know,
I can see you playing a mountain
Yeah,
man.
Mountain
though.
Man. That's good. You did good with Mountain Man.
So hold on, we have a chat room full of people, lots of different countries represented. So just say hi to everybody in the chat room.
Hey, everybody.
There you go.
I don't know what language to say that in, so I'll just use
English. Everybody can do English, so that works.
Okay,
So
good.
tell us, well, where do you actually? You live in Texas, right?
No, I'm a New Orleans boy. Big Easy.
Oh, New Orleans.
Oh, that's right. I'm got that all confused. And so you do. Oh, so you work a lot. Oh, that's why you know a lot of the people that we know, because I know that we're going to talk about in a minute. Poker Run, like John Schneider's movie, and like I know he lives there, or his studio is there at least, and
Yep.
and Mike Mayhall. I don't know. There's a whole bunch of people that I actually, Jeff Caperton and all those people like around from around that area that we like know, who many of them I've met. A few of them I've had on the show before, but many of them I met through Barry Rogers, the publicist. So
Gotcha.
it's very cool. So, okay. So you've been acting for like a long time, and you obviously a lot of stuff films in New Orleans. Do you do most of your stuff from New Orleans?
I try and operate as much from home as I can, but you know, I'll go where the job is if the character is nice enough. I know Ron knows that. You know that. Yep.
There will travel. I don't travel for 2 lines.
No, right, exactly. If it's worth it, I'll travel. I like to stay in the Southeast as much as I can. So between Atlanta and here, Houston, you know, the my stomping grounds, I'm pretty comfortably kept employed.
Yeah,
I go as far as Nevada.
I produce a lot of films, and I think I have like 9 films like on a slate that we're working on that'll all get shot in Atlanta. So we'll be going to Atlanta, and you have a ton of titles. I went on IMDb. You have 108, TV and film credits, which is a freaking like lot. And I didn't see the Visitor one, so there's probably even more.
yeah. I think I'm around 160. Something like that, 170.
Yeah, it's a freaking like lot. So let me do a little bragging for you real quick, just so people kind of get like an idea of some of the stuff they might have seen you in. There's so many of I actually put down the ones that I know or that I know were like huge hits. So you guys, he was in the new Justin Timberlake movie Palmer with Juno Temple and Dean Winters and Craig Sheffer. Semper Fi with Jai Courtney and Finn Whitrock and Leighton Meister. Green Book, which is like an Academy Award movie, I believe. Happy Death Day, which is horror, which I like. The Magnificent Seven with everybody huge in the world. Denzel Washington, Chris Pratt, Ethan Hawke, Cam Gigenet, Matt Bomer, Peter Skarsgård, Vincent D'Onofrio. Free State of Jones with Matthew McConaughey. Smothered, which is why we had John Schneider on our show actually when Smothered came out, so we'll talk about that. Trumbo, Bad Country, who has a huge cast. Bullet to the Head with Sylvester Stallone and Jason Momoa, who's like my favorite. Django Unchained, Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter, Looper, The Campaign, Green Lantern. I Love You, Philip Morris, Deja Vu, and in TV, you guys have seen him on Creep Show, Queen of the South, The Purge, Homeland, Preacher, Sleepy Hollow, American Horror Story, Salem, Breakout Kings, which was one of my favorite movies. TV shows, Prison Break, and that's just some because I only named about 20, and like he's got 160. So congratulations on some fucking great career.
Well, thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah, wait. You put it all together like that, and it sounds like I'm working all the time.
Isn't it the truth? It's the truth. I'm in the business 64 years, and it sounds like I work all the time. I think I worked 10 times in 64 years. But it looks good. It sounds good.
It makes it a whole lot of fun. So I want to like talk a little bit because you got this new film, Poker Run. It's John Schneider's film. You're in it. Jeff Caperton is in it, who we know. And basically, it's kind of like an updated Smokey and the Bandit, right? I mean, that's what it looked like from the trailer.
It's an homage. And it's the sequel to Stand On It, which was the first one we did. That was Smokey and the Bandit. And so this is Smokey and all the other Smokey and the Bandits after that, 2 and 3 kind of mixed together in our homage to it. So there's a lot more mixed in there than just Smokey and the Bandit stuff. So
it looks phenomenal. The trailer looks phenomenal, and we know John Schneider's a great guy. We had a blast with him on the show. And when Smothered came out, Ron has a daughter who's an actress, and she was living in New Orleans, and so he invited her to the Smothered premiere. So cool. You probably met her because you were probably there too.
I was,
tall, beautiful red.
I was there.
Yes, it was.
Tall, beautiful redhead named Deirdre.
And for all you guys horror fans,
meet her.
Yeah, that's Ron's daughter.
Deirdre.
Yeah,
you'll never forget her if you meet her.
No.
Yeah,
it's a small world.
That's my daughter.
Wow.
what a small world. It makes it all fun. And John was really nice to invite her after he came on the show.
Right.
And you guys smothered for all you horror movie fans. We've had all these people on our show. Kane Hodder's in it. R.A. Mihailoff's in it. Bill Moseley, John Schneider, and Dane, obviously. Don Shanks is in it, who I love Don Shanks. It was some cast. It was super amazing. And I'm actually working on a film with Kane Hodder right now. So like, it was really great. So all you horror fans definitely need to see it. And all you people who just like fun movies in general, you guys need to see Poker Run. And what we're going to do, and hopefully we don't get in trouble, is we're going to play the trailer.
I don't
for
know
it.
about that.
And
cool.
If we get bounced, we get bounced, folks.
Oh, we won't get bounced.
I hope
we're
you know
doing
they
okay.
bounce.
Trailers, they don't do it for usually.
Well, that's not so. Let's see.
It's weird.
They've
'cause YouTube
changed all the
messes.
policies, and we've been notified that if we do anything like this, we will be bounced off the
No,
air
they
again.
didn't. That's not it. Sony
We
does
we
it.
have been bounced off the air
Only
for playing
once.
music.
Yes, for music.
I
but-
really hate this freedom of lack of freedom of expression.
So I want you, Dane, to actually give us some kind of introduction for the movie, and then Roxy, you're gonna play it when he gets done with his introduction. How's that? All right, go for it, Dane.
Well, just like in Smokey and the Bandit, a wager is set up in Stand on It between Duke, played by John Schneider, and the Needham father and son team, who I play one of, the son. I play the son, to bring alcohol back to town. Well, he succeeds by getting his friends to help him. So in Poker Run, we have the idea to have Duke, the character Duke, John Schneider, bet and race against all of his friends that helped him in the first movie in a poker run, and the winner's going to win $2.5 million. So now we see how they hold up as friends.
There we go. All right, everybody. Here's Poker Run trailer. Enjoy.
500 says Marietta pulls in first.
I will take that action.
Connie and Tim Needham want to know if you want to play one hand of poker for $2.5 million. Can I raise? Boy, you can do whatever you want to do.
We already did that part, little lady.
You're right, Daddy. We done did that part.
My bad.
Why in the world would I risk the $500,000 I just won?
So you could offer your friend a lifetime of financial security.
I'm still going to do it yet.
You think Marietta's in, Daddy?
He's in.
Frosty, you got your ears on, son.
Right here under my hat. As you. Not again. What is this all about? There's something serious going on.
That's what I'm talking about, Dad.
Oh, I water skied off the nice.
Which means you never actually drove the boat before.
Nope, never, not once.
God bless you, Ricky Bobby. Oh, you never let me have any fun.
You go and you just don't care how you get there.
I didn't like you in 1977. I don't like you now.
Who the hell are you?
Tyrus couldn't get out of his gig in New York. He gave me a call this morning. Just go with it.
Okay.
I don't care if you're Sheriff Buford T. Justice.
Where's he going?
Shortcut. Nope.
Why not?
Trust. The name is Roy, and I like to drive.
You understand that I'm the only one here that can actually win this thing.
I mean, very, very good.
I mean, really, really bad.
Take it around again.
Watch where you're going.
It was 80, 90, 100.
They'll stop. They always stop.
I would move. So I dialed in scales just trying to catch you, breaking all the
What the hell are you doing?
I want to watch. This is going to be great. Out of my way, McCluskey.
Yeah, that's very funny.
Hey, isn't that the guy on the show that has the car with the fancy lights in the grill?
Hold on to your skin, bro. Here we go again.
Oh my God, that looks so much fun. You look so different without a beard.
Right.
I didn't
Yeah.
even recognize you.
Now, are you playing Jackie Gleason's part?
No, he's Jackie Gleason's
Yeah,
son.
I am. And did you see I'm also playing Timmy Needham, the one
Right.
with the big mustache, the Texan.
Yeah.
with the
You know,
mustache.
Burt Reynolds was a very good friend of mine for a lot of years. Burt Reynolds was handled by Lee Winkler. Lee Winkler was the head of Global Enterprises, and he sort of made Burt Reynolds become Burt Reynolds. And I met Burt many, many, many years ago. And I remember one time we were talking at dinner, and I said to him, "How come you keep doing these Smoking the Bandits?" He said, "They give me a brand new Trans Am every year." So we did it for the car. Burt was a funny guy. I think at that time he was with Sally Fields, and he had just made Sally Fields put in boobs because he liked big boobs. And Sally went and had the surgery, and they put in these enormous boobs. But Sally was not happy with them, and she had them removed. And Burt was very disappointed. And I remember that was the conversation of the evening. Burt was saying, "If you ain't got big tits, you ain't worth it." Burt was a fun guy. I liked him a lot. And Jimmy's dad knew Burt Reynolds also.
Yeah, actually, Burt Reynolds' brother was my high school football coach, so he
Right.
used to come
Oh,
hang.
wow.
I lived in Florida, and he used to in West Palm Beach, and he used to come to the school all the time. And since I was good friends with his nephew, like we would see him all the time. So it was like kind of like my introduction into meeting famous people. You meet one of the most famous ones in the world. It
Actually,
was very cool.
when I first met Burt, he was with Brenda Vaccaro, and she was stalking him because he had broken up with her, and she was calling everybody she knew up that knew him. "Have you seen Burt? Where is he? Where does he go? Where can I find him?" These are good stories that I really should write a book about because these are all inside stuff. Burt Reynolds was quite a ladies' man. And I asked him, I said, "You ever make love to Catherine Deneuve?" And he smiled. He said, "Wouldn't you?" I said, "Well, I guess I'm gay, but I would." And Burt said, "Well, me too." Yeah, so he made love to Catherine Deneuve. He made love to everybody. Burt
So
was
hold on, go back.
character.
So
wait a minute. You're paying homage to a great actor.
Well,
I'm
I think so too.
pleased. I'm very pleased with what you're doing. And I know if Burt were here, he'd say, "God dang, they're doing a good job."
Well,
I think
we hope
so.
so. The fingers were crossed when we're making it. And John, of course, knew Burt, and that was his feeling too, is that Burt would love what we've done with it.
Yeah, Burt was a regular Joe. He was a down to earth guy.
How do people actually see the movie? Because I know you guys are distributing it differently.
Well, yeah, the John and Alicia own Cineflix, which is an on-demand service.
Mhm.
So you can go there to get any of John's films. You can also go to John Schneider Studios, and you can they distribute it through his shop there, the e-store from
So
the
it's-
studio. So you can still get a DVD of it if you'd prefer to own it that way, or you can get it streaming, or you can rent it. And then you can actually go to John's site on Vimeo. John Schneider, just put in John Schneider's
Oh, that's cool.
poker run, and it'll come up for you.
I
What
love it.
made them pick him to play Burt's part?
He did. You know, John wrote this.
Oh, he cast himself.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
he wrote it by
it's a very hard part to replace. Burt had that wonderful sarcastic humor and that chuckle, so he could say something very naughty and chuckle and make it good. And he did that in person as well. That was his thing. I'm just curious to see how this actor is going to handle the Burt part.
I think it's going to be fabulous.
Oh, I
It
think
got
it's going to
great
be great.
reviews. It got great reviews.
Well, I can't
already.
wait to see it. I will see it
Yeah,
definitely.
we have a blast.
So-
And John doesn't really play him. He plays a character like Burt's
Like Burt.
character in that. You know, he plays Duke, who's
Is he still a wise guy, sarcastic, quick one-liners?
yeah, but not near as much as Burt was. He didn't want to actually, as far as I know, he didn't want to do a direct steal from Burt.
Right.
He wanted to pay homage to it. So the character that he wrote is like it. And we
Like it.
reference the Smoking the Bandit and Burt all the time.
Right.
I saw that even in the trailer. Yeah, I saw it in the
did that.
trailer. Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw that in the trailer. I think that's great. And also, I saw Mindy Robinson in there, which we just had her on in maybe like back in August or something. We had her on the show because Ron is in a movie with her called Clown Motel too.
Right.
And
Yeah,
Mindy's
she's
great.
sweet. I love her. She's a sweetie
Yeah, she
pie.
is a sweetheart.
Yeah,
just
she's a sweetie
fabulous.
pie.
You gotta love it. So now,
And,
how
and
did
easy
you
to work with too.
how did you meet John Schneider?
John came the first time I met John was at a table read of Smothered.
Oh, there
And,
you go.
I got called up and asked to read a character, and I believe it was Don Shank's character because he couldn't make it in time for the table read. And so John and I hit it off, and we started talking that night. And then the character was supposed to be played by Rowdy Roddy Piper. It was written for him.
Yeah, I knew him.
And then Rowdy got sick, went into the hospital and wasn't able to do the movie. So John reached out and asked if I would play that character.
You have such a great voice. Like you have a really good voice.
And the part that you're playing is perfect for you, because
I have a
you
lot
have,
of
you
fun.
have the look, the southern accent, and the gravel voice, and you really it works well. It really does.
Well, thanks.
Good,
I get
good
to play with a
casting.
lot.
Good casting.
I think
I also-
John has an eye for that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I think it's very hard too to have a gravelly voice like that. That's a real like sounds real. I think people try to have a gravelly voice, but yours is just a natural gravelly voice, and so
Yeah.
you've got an advantage
Well,
over
it's a
everybody.
real southern voice.
Yeah,
it's
really.
It's how
southern.
we Northerners hear southern people when they speak. With that, Tallulah Bankhead, was from the South, and
Oh, yeah.
that's why, darling, she had that gravel voice for a woman. So
Now
it's
you're not
sort
going
of
to believe this, but I was a boy soprano.
so was
first-
Jimmy.
Oh,
So
yeah,
so
My
is
first
Jimmy.
paid gig was I was 13 years old, and I played the shepherd boy in Tosca, in the opera Tosca.
Tosca, right?
Oh my God, how cool is actually I was a soprano.
My voice
though, as
didn't
a kid.
change until I hit high school, but then when it changed, it plummeted.
It really changed.
Yeah.
So
Well, you know who Lara Spencer is? ABC Good Morning America.
Yes.
Yeah, Lara Spencer and my daughter Leslie grew up together. They're best friends. And I watched Lara's voice go from a soft girl to a very rough, husky voice. Well, she had surgery because she had polyps on her vocals. So they removed them. And I couldn't wait to see Lara. I said, so Lara, tell me, what do you sound like now? And she sounded the same. So I said, what the hell did they do? She said, I don't know. She said, but nothing was successful. Did you ever consider maybe you had polyps on your vocals?
I just had major throat surgery, and so I know I didn't have polyps on the throat. No, mine's just genetic. It's the way it's built. My voice drops to the back, and I've got a big
Right.
resonator back there, so it comes out deeper.
And that's the same thing with Lara. Her voice is the same now as it was when she was 15 years old.
So-
It's sexy on a woman. On a man,
Oh,
I
yeah.
guess too.
Oh, yeah,
But
it
when
is. I
Lauren,
love a
I
husky
knew
voice.
Lauren Bacall pretty well, and Lauren Bacall had to train herself to speak a few octaves higher, so she didn't sound like a drunk. Because if Betty, when she spoke in her real voice, she sounded drunk, and she wasn't. I mean, she was drunk most of the time, but not all the time. But, so when she
what a great laugh.
no, when she was sober, she would come off with "Hello, Ron," and it sounded like she was a boozer. But some
Yeah,
people
I
just
could
have
hear it.
those voices. Yeah, but she was a fabulous broad.
So you've worked with like I mean, your resume is like really seriously phenomenal with all the different things. You have like every A-list actor on the planet in here. Is there a bucket list for you of like maybe a male and a female actor that you have not had an opportunity to work with that you think, oh my God, I would really love to work with these people?
Oh, that. That's a tough one. I mean, a lot of the ones that I would like to have worked with have passed away because
Oh, they can be them too. It can be someone who passed away. Ron is basically like the TCM. Like he was like Robert Osborne. He like knew all of them. He worked with a whole bunch of them. He knew all the old actors. So he
The
always picks
legends,
the
legends.
He always picks
A
the
legend.
legends.
All the legends. I knew all the old broads.
There's a couple out right now that I would. Oh my goodness, that's a tougher question than you think it is. Because there's so many of them that I would like to work with. There's actually an actor that I got to meet. He worked as a director on stage with me, but I would love to act with him. His name is Roy Marsden.
I've
Now,
seen
you
that.
may not know that name because he's
I
a
don't
big
know.
British actor from the 70s. He had 2 television series on the BBC. Just a phenomenal man and actor. Had met Oscar Wilde when he was a kid. He's much older now. And anyhow, that would be a name that I would throw out right off the bat. There's a couple British actors that I really, really like that I want to spend.
How about Helen Mirren? How about Helen Mirren?
There we go. Right off the. I mean, there's one. I would give a leg to actually be able to work with her.
Yeah, we love her a lot.
Actually, I like her. And
How about Joan Collins?
Ron?
I
likes
would
Joan
like to.
Collins.
I would have loved to have worked with the young Joan Collins, of course. When she was, when she was bringing all that vitality and all of that smoke.
She's really not the bitch that she portrays.
Yeah, I can't imagine that she could be.
She's
Who could
not
actually
really.
live that.
No, in person, she's a Gemini like me, and in person, she has a sense of humor like mine. Fabulous sense of humor, funny girl. She can get bitchy if you attack her, but
Well,
she's not a bitch for real. She's a nice lady.
I don't know anybody that can make it. You know this, Ron. How do you make it in this industry without having a thick enough skin and the ability to stand up for yourself, right?
I'm always
walked all
fighting.
over,
Yeah. So I teach that to Jimmy because he's younger than I, and he said, "Oh, that was in your day." I said, "Bullshit! Even today, you got to talk up, or they'll use you, abuse you, and throw you aside. It's a tough business."
In the chat,
Sure, there's a lot of people that want to do what we do, right?
No,
So there's always somebody wanting to walk in and replace you. So you got to remind them you're there and you're the choice.
And you're only as good as your last performance. So get your head out of your ass when you think you're a star.
In the chat room, they're saying that you need to be in a Western or in a movie with Al Pacino. And
a Western. He's been
already
in
done Westerns.
a million Westerns.
So he's got.
I did a prison movie that I'm not sure ever came out with Brian Dennehy, and he played the warden of the prison, and I was standing beside him in one scene, and while we were waiting for the camera set up, he turned and he looked up at me and he went, "You do a lot of Westerns?" And I went, "Yeah." And it turns out lately I've been doing a lot of Westerns. And he went, "Yeah, I can see it. You got a face for Westerns."
You do.
I love Brian Dennehy. I love Brian Dennehy.
You look very cowboy.
Yeah, with the beard, you look pretty cowboy.
Like you're out there panning for gold. Yep.
Actually, though, I don't know. I don't know if
Especially
Bad
with
Country.
this, though.
I don't know if Bad Country is a Western or not.
Well,
but the Django Unchained is, and the Magnificent Seven is. So, and those are huge ones.
Wouldn't you have loved to play in the Sahara Madre movie?
Oh my God.
That's some role. With Humphrey
It's about
Bogart.
time those are remade, don't you think?
I don't want them remade because they will lose the quality they had. Betty Davis and I were friends when she got to be 150, and we talked a lot about movies. And I said, "What was the biggest disappointment that you ever seen?" She said, "When they made the remake of The Letter." She said it was just terrible. She said, "That's my signature movie." She said, "Nobody could do that movie like I did." I said, "If somebody overheard us, I think you're conceited." She said, "Fuck them." She had a dirty mouth, Betty. She said, "No." She said, "Fuck them. I don't care what they think." This is my opinion. She said, "What's her name? The beautiful girl that played the part. I forgot who died. That beautiful actress. What the hell was her name?" Anyway, it was a bomb. And Betty said, "Leave it alone. Gable belongs to Gone with the Wind," she said.
Yeah.
And she listed a bunch of movies. Ingrid Bergman owns Casablanca.
Yeah, no,
Don't-
there's truth in what you're saying.
Don't do
I
it
won't argue
because
that.
you don't own it.
So we I was going to say we have a friend who used to live in Palm Springs. Now they moved back to Georgia. Bobby Eakes, and her husband's name is David Steen. And David Steen is the guy who gets his penis blown off in Django Unchained.
Right.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if you might know him because you were on. I don't know if you're like in any of his scenes because I didn't know who you were, so I didn't look it up when we saw the movie. But
David and I might be in the parlor scene together. He might be part of that scene. I don't remember meeting David or knowing David, but that was a massive cast, and we were always in a mass of people.
He
during
actually
that shoot.
has like the mold thing that they used, for the blown off penis or whatever. He showed me a
Wow.
picture of it, and I was like, "Holy shit!" Which
Quentin
makes it
does
all
not
fun.
Well,
do
his
all
wife,
kinds
his
of-
wife,
he gets what he
is-
wants the way he wants.
Yes.
So.
his wife is a super soap opera star
And singer
and singer.
Bobby
She's-
Eakes.
Bobby Eakes.
Her name is Bobby Eakes.
Bobby Eakes. Okay.
She's been on the soaps forever.
We like the soap. We have a lot. We
With
live in
many-
Palm Springs, California, and like all the soapies, we call them soapies. They all live here.
They all live here.
So we know all of them, and it's a lot of fun. They also think you should have done something with Gene Wilder, and Michael Caine. The audience is
again,
telling
you're
you all
gonna-
the people you should be
No,
working
they
with.
think
Please
of
send
Gene.
these messages to Michael Caine.
Yes.
No, they think of Gene Wilder
Because I'm ready. I would.
they think of him because of Blazing Saddles. And yes, you would have been wonderful in Blazing Saddles. Absolutely. With your look and voice.
I do a lot of comic film work as well.
Yes,
The stuff
I was
you
going to
listed
say
off is more the
light
dramatic stuff.
comedy. You're good for
Yeah.
light comedy. I would
love
cast
to
you.
do-
I
do a
would
lot of
cast you.
clowning work. You know,
Yeah.
so broad comic stuff is something that I always gravitate to.
Right.
And I'm hoping to get to do more of it. That's why I love like Poker Run, and because I am called on to do a lot of heavy Southerners,
Yep.
you know, racists and bigots, and
Also, you could play any
period
part
pieces and stuff.
that Burl Ives played. You could play any of Burl
Oh, yeah.
Ives' parts. In
Well-
Long Hot Summer, you could have played
As I was
that
about
was
to say, I do a lot of Tennessee William.
Tennessee. Yeah, a lot of
Yeah,
Tennessee.
you know,
See, I would
and
cast
away
you in
from
that.
Like the stuff with John, I appreciate so much because it lets me pull those other and work those other muscles as
Yeah, but you know what
as a
it's saying?
comedian.
You're not reading into what it's saying. If somebody said you could do a lot of Tennessee, they're saying you're good enough of an actor to do Tennessee. Just don't think because you're an actor you can do him. You can't.
You could.
Tennessee has a style that you have to be a very accomplished actor to get it across without looking like a moron.
Absolutely.
So
mean,
I could
that's-
see you in Long Hot Summer, definitely.
Well, thank
That's
you.
just like-
What about what about give us a female actress that you think would be fun to work with?
Well, we talked about Helen Mirren. I would kill to also work.
Yeah,
with
I love
Marissa
her.
Tomei.
Oh, I love her.
Yep.
I mean, that is the number one on top of my list would be Marissa Tomei.
She may be in one of the movies I'm in. They're working on getting her, and she's
my
going to play. She's going to play my daughter.
Well, you know what? I'll come and help you. I'll come. I'll be your.
That would be that would
No,
actually
only
be
because
a good
we need
one.
we need her Brooklyn accent, New York Brooklyn accent.
That would be a really cool. Like she would be a good one though. Like I'm a huge fan, and I know like it's probably like because she's done a lot of great work. But like I love My Cousin Vinny. I think that's like one of the greatest movies like ever. And it's got that comedic thing that you like. And
Yeah, but she doesn't speak that way in her real life, you know.
No, I know, but she's a great.
She's
in
a
it.
good Brooklyn. She does a very good Brooklyn accent. It's very convincing.
Okay, so like pick a movie. If you could have been in any movie that's ever in history, what movie would you have liked to been in?
Face in the Crowd.
Oh, what a wonderful movie!
I don't even know what that is.
That's Patricia
It's,
Neal.
Patricia Neal and Andy Griffith's first.
Andy
movie.
Griffith. And Patricia Neal was. I think she got an Oscar for that, or
I
she
think
was
so. I think she was at least nominated for it. I'm not
yeah,
sure. She won.
nominated. You know, I met her. I knew her, and I met her. I was in her apartment, and there was a picture of Gary Cooper on the end table, big picture. And I was trying to read the inscription without her seeing me read it, and she realized that I was reading it, and she said, "Go ahead, Ron. You could read it." And he put "Eternally, always my love for you, Patricia." And I said to her, "Boy, that was some romance you had with him, huh?" She said, "What do you mean had?" I said, "Still?" She said, "Still." She said, "I loved him all my life." And she was married to Roald Dahl and had 5 kids with him. And she still loved Gary Cooper. She was coming on my show, set the record straight. And then I got the word that she had passed away. And I was very upset because she was a lovely, lovely lady. I knew her when she was quite old, but she was a lovely lady. And that smile was still Patricia Neal when she smiled. Yeah.
See, I would to work with her, to work with.
Oh,
Andy,
me too. To work with
in that.
Patricia Neal, I would flip out.
And
Fountainhead.
Carl
Oh,
Malden is in that movie. And just
yeah,
the
it's a
story,
wonderful,
the story
wonderful
itself, I
script.
love.
We have to
love
watch it
that
now
script.
because I don't
You've
know.
never seen it,
I don't know
Face
if
in the
I've seen
Crowd?
it.
Oh, it's a fabulous movie. You
It'll
kidding?
tear you up. Get ready, it'll tear you up.
It's funny because I had never seen anything.
You could
on-
be in that movie too very easily.
I would love that.
Oh,
I
no,
would-
you could have
that
been
character's
cast.
Name, Andy's character's name is Lonesome Rhodes.
Okay, but you could have been cast in that film, absolutely. And it would have been very believable. No, you would have been believable in that. Very believable. It's a good movie. Yes, I think she did win the Best Supporting Actress Academy Award for it.
1957. B. Claudia's in there saying 1957 with the Ilya Kazan.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I love it. So you know what? Do us a favor. Say hi to B. Claudia's in Germany, and she's in here writing all kinds of things. She loves you. She's like, you got the greatest smile, all these different things. So just say hi to B. Claudia.
Hey, B. Claudia, thank you.
She's really one of the coolest people on planet Earth that you'll ever meet ever.
Well, she
She's
seems like it, certainly
been
from her
with us for
pictures.
She's been with us for years.
And she's putting in
misses
the
a week.
links for everybody to get Poker Run, and she's like, you can go someplace and get autograph copies, and she's like writing all kinds of stuff in there to help
And
promote
she
it.
never,
Thank you for doing that, B.
she never misses a week coming into our chat room. She's one of our most dedicated friends.
I love it. So what are some of your, we have 5 minutes left. What are some of your favorite films that you've done? Like, do you have certain ones that like stand out as like, oh my God, the
Absolutely.
greatest experience?
I have an independent film that you probably don't know, but you can get a hold of on Amazon called Lost Bayou.
Oh, I think
And it is one of the most beautiful stories I think ever. And it kind of defies genre. You're not sure what type of movie it is, but you get lost in it. I thought the director and the DP and writers on those were just, it was a joy from beginning to end.
And
then, honestly,
Bayou indicates it's in the South
yeah, it takes place in Louisiana out in
because of the
Ocklawaha
Bayou.
Basin.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so it's and it's a gorgeous film, Lost Bayou.
Where can we see that?
You can pick that up on Amazon, as far as I
How
know
about
right
YouTube?
now.
Are you on YouTube? Is it on YouTube?
No, you'll find trailers for it on YouTube.
All right. Is that film on? What's that thing we look at? Obi, UB?
Oh, Tubi.
Tubi. Is it on Tubi?
I doubt Tubi has picked it up because it's a newer film that came through the
Oh, okay.
festival circuit.
Then you'll see
So
it
I
on
doubt They have
Netflix.
it yet.
You guys, here's it is. It says Lost Bayou, a struggling addict ventures into the Louisiana swamps to reconnect with her estranged faith healer father, only to discover he's hiding a troubling secret aboard his houseboat.
That's you.
The
You're the troubled father.
I am.
Wow, that's a good part. That's a good role.
And actually, the poster for it is really like amazing. It's
We
got
have to
a
see
beautiful
that. I want to
poster.
see. Where can we see that?
He just told you Amazon. What do you like?
What is Amazon?
Amazon Prime.
What is Amazon?
We watch it all the time.
We watch Amazon.
Yeah, it's Amazon Prime. It's for free on Amazon Prime. You just said.
Oh, let's watch it tonight.
Okay, I know we're going out tonight.
Oh, we're going out tonight. All
Yeah,
right.
that's a good date movie. When you
Okay.
when you're ready to have a date night, that's a good one.
No, I like your character. It's an interesting. See, I like interesting characters. I just don't like people on screen because they're pretty.
Right.
You know,
Well,
you have to have
I
a
don't have to
depth
worry
to
about
you.
that.
No, you're good looking. You're very handsome, man. I got news for you. I got a couple of women that would go for you if you're available.
I'm always taking resumes.
No, really, I'm serious. I have. You know who Adrienne Barbeau is?
Yes.
She told us she's
Oh my
always
God.
looking. She told us that she's
Adrienne
looking for a
told
date.
me, find me a guy. So how about I fix you up with Adrienne Barbeau?
Tell her you found one. He's right here.
No, I'm not. I'm not lying. I'm not kidding you.
She's super nice.
I am not kidding you. She doesn't want to get married. She just wants a boyfriend to go out with and have a relationship with, and that's it. Because
I'm her guy.
she's been married. She has children, and and Adrienne still looks gorgeous.
She's smoking hot still.
She's like, I don't know how old you are. She's about 72, but looks 50.
Yeah,
You're younger
well,
than that.
I'm in my 50s. I'm in my late 50s. So.
Oh, so you're too young for her then. She won't
Yeah,
go out with
probably.
you.
No, I'm not. No,
He's not too young.
Adrienne is fabulous. You'd love her. She's the sweetest girl in the world. She lives in the
I
valley.
imagine
She lives in the
I've always
valley.
thought that she would be. So.
We'll start looking out for you because we meet everybody. We're gay, so all the women always come and talk to us.
Sue
guys
Wong,
broke her for me, wouldn't
Sue
you?
Wong,
Yes.
Sue Wong, the fashion designer, is looking for a guy. Up until she got ill, which is very sad, is my sweetheart. I don't even want to talk about it. Who's going to pass away very soon?
No.
Yeah, and you will too when I give you her name. But nah. Anyway,
Mm.
maybe
2 minutes. So I have a question. You have an Instagram and you
Stella
never post.
Stevens.
Oh.
You know Stella Stevens.
Oh, I do know Stella Stevens.
Stella's got
I don't know her
Alzheimer's.
personally, but I know who she
Well,
is. Obviously,
I know her. She's a dear friend of mine. She's got bad Alzheimer's, and we don't give her much time.
So wait,
That
go.
beautiful Stella Stevens, that gorgeous.
We only have a
girl.
minute, so hang on. So you have Scarborough Dane is your Instagram, but you've never posted a thing. What's up with that?
that was set up by one of my IT people, and it was supposed to connect to my other writings, and for some reason it never happened, and I just haven't gotten back to it. It's on my list of things to correct.
You have to do it
in
because
this
we can
new
get
year.
you all kinds of we can get you all kinds of followers, and people will follow you, and then they'll support everything that you do because you were on the show. They'll like they know who you are now. and they'll
Well,
love
let
it.
them know that to head over there, and I will get that corrected and start posting up there.
He's going to start
beginning of this
posting
coming
everybody.
year,
So follow
Yeah, because
Scarborough
you know what?
Dane.
We have over 5 million people that will see the show. That's our audience. We're all over the world. We're in every country in the world. And we've also been voted the 3rd year in a row of the best web show. Also, we were nominated for an Emmy. So this is not a shitty show. You're on a good show. So push your goodies. Push all the goodies
Hang on, we
you
gotta
want.
go though. We're out of time.
And it gets seen by important
So
people.
everybody, this is Dane Rhodes. Please check out his latest film. It just came out. It's called Poker Run.
And he's a good actor, and he has a great face. And hire him. I want to see him play
And
next
everything.
to
That's right.
Miriam. He's got to play.
We want to see him win everything. Oh, it's DaneRhodes.actor is your website. Is that correct?
That's my website, yes.
All right, so check out more. You guys go to DaneRhodes.actor. We want to wish you a very Merry Christmas because we're out of time. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Everybody check out Poker Run, and we'll see you soon.
And you're going to be working with.
Thank you so
watch.
much.
You're going to work with Helen Mirren. Watch.
All right.
She's going to contact you.
That would be great.
You'll see.
Yeah, there he goes. All right, Dane, thank you so much. We want to thank
Take
Barry
care,
Rogers from Wayne PR
Yes,
also for
thanks,
setting this whole
everybody.
thing up, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye, everybody.
Good interview. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot.
Can turn out to be so wrong. Yeah, we in the mix. Yeah, we in the mix. It's another episode. Here we go. The Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. Interviewing the hottest, newest, and truest of today's celebrities. Make sure to subscribe so you can get notified weekly. Jimmy Star, he's the king of cool. Ron Russell, he's a gorgeous dude. Chat room is live and you would be a fool not to vibe with us at the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. Come watch it live on W4CY Radio. Miss some past episodes, download on iTunes. The Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell. It's the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell.